Are you taking blood sugar medication right now and eating pomegranate because someone told you it's healthy? Because what I'm about to tell you might just save your life, and I need you to pay close attention for the next few minutes. You see, there's this beautiful red fruit sitting in grocery stores across America, Canada, the UK, and Australia, praised as a superfood loaded with antioxidants and recommended by health magazines everywhere. But here's what nobody's telling you for people over 60, especially those on certain medications. This same fruit could be quietly creating a medical emergency in your body right now. And the worst part, most people have no idea until something goes wrong. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a natural fruit be dangerous? It's just food, right? Well, that's exactly what thousands of seniors believed before they ended up in concerning situations that could have been completely avoided. The truth is, after 60, our bodies process foods differently. Our medications interact in ways they didn't before, and what worked for us at 40 or 50 can actually work against us now. This isn't about fear. This is about knowledge that your doctor might not have even mentioned during your last checkup. So if you're on any medication at all, if you have any chronic condition, or if you simply want to protect yourself and your loved ones, you need to hear what comes next. What makes this particular fruit so dangerous that it can interfere with your heart, your blood, and even your brain function? Let's talk about blood pressure medications first, because this is where things get really serious for millions of seniors. If you're taking medications like amlodipine, lisinopril, losartan, or any other blood pressure pill, pomegranate acts like a turbocharger on those drugs. Here's what happens inside your body. Pomegranate contains compounds that block certain enzymes in your liver, the same enzymes responsible for breaking down your blood pressure medication. So instead of your pill working at the dose your doctor prescribed, it suddenly works 2 or 3 times stronger. Your blood pressure doesn't just lower, it can plummet. And when your blood pressure drops too low, your brain doesn't get enough oxygen. You feel dizzy, lightheaded. You might feel like the room is spinning. Some people have fallen and broken hips. Others have fainted while driving. But here's the really troubling part. This doesn't happen immediately after eating pomegranate. It builds up in your system over days or weeks, so you don't connect the dots between that healthy fruit salad and why you've been feeling off lately. Your doctor might even increase your medication thinking it's not working well enough, making the problem even worse. Most people just assume these dizzy spells are part of getting older, part of having high blood pressure, never realizing their healthy eating choice is actually creating the problem. But blood pressure pills aren't the only medications that turn dangerous when mixed with this fruit. Now, if you're on warfarin or any blood thinning medication, what I'm about to tell you is absolutely critical. Pomegranate doesn't just interfere with blood thinners, it throws your entire clotting system into chaos. Here's why this matters so much. Blood thinners keep your blood from clotting too easily, protecting you from strokes and heart attacks. Your doctor carefully calibrates your dose based on regular blood tests, making sure you're in that safe zone where your blood isn't too thick or too thin. But when you add pomegranate into the mix, it amplifies the effect of your blood thinner unpredictably. Suddenly, your carefully balanced medication becomes too strong. What does this mean for your daily life? Simple things become dangerous. A small cut while cooking takes forever to stop bleeding. You bruise from barely bumping into furniture. Some people notice blood in their urine or stool and panic, not understanding why. Internal bleeding can happen without any visible signs at all. And here's what makes this even more deceptive. It's not just the fresh fruit. It's the juice, the supplements, even those trendy pomegranate flavored drinks. Many seniors think juice is safer or that small amounts don't count, but your body doesn't distinguish between forms. The compounds that cause the interaction are concentrated in all of them. One glass of pomegranate juice can affect your blood thinner levels for days afterward. So if you're having those regular blood tests and your results keep fluctuating, making your doctor scratch their head and adjust your doses constantly, you might want to consider what you've been drinking. But there's another medication class that creates an even stranger reaction, and this one affects your muscles in ways you wouldn't expect. Before we get to that, if you're finding this information valuable and want to stay informed about health decisions that matter after 60, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for Health After 60. We're here to give you the truth that keeps you safe. Now, let's talk about what happens when pomegranate meets your cholesterol medication. If you're taking statins for cholesterol, atorvastatin, simvastatin, rosuvastatin, any of these common medications, this next part is something you absolutely need to understand. Statins work by being processed through your liver, broken down at a specific rate that keeps your cholesterol under control without causing problems. But pomegranate blocks the enzyme system that breaks down these statins, meaning the medication stays in your body much longer than it should, building up to levels your doctor never intended. Now, what does this actually feel like? Many seniors on statins already experience some muscle aches. That's relatively common. But when pomegranate enters the picture, those aches can turn into serious muscle pain, weakness that makes climbing stairs exhausting, or even muscle breakdown that releases proteins into your bloodstream. Your legs feel heavy, your arms feel weak, and you might think it's just age catching up with you. You might tell yourself you overdid it at the grocery store or you slept wrong. But it's actually your statin medication accumulating to toxic levels because pomegranate won't let your liver clear it out properly. There's also the liver itself to worry about. Your liver enzymes can spike when statins build up, potentially causing liver damage over time. Most people get blood tests every few months to check liver function while on statins, but if those numbers start creeping up and your doctor seems concerned, pomegranate might be the hidden culprit nobody's considering. Even small amounts regularly can cause this problem. Having pomegranate twice a week, having that juice with breakfast, these seemingly innocent choices create a cumulative effect. Your kidneys might be paying an invisible price right now, and this connection is something most people never see coming. Here's something most seniors don't realize: after 60, your kidney function naturally declines. Even if you feel perfectly fine, your kidneys aren't filtering waste and balancing minerals the way they did 20 years ago. Now, add pomegranate to that equation, and you've got a problem most people never connect until it's too late. Pomegranate is incredibly high in potassium, and while potassium is essential for your body, too much of it becomes dangerous when your kidneys can't filter it out efficiently. When potassium builds up in your bloodstream, it directly affects your heart rhythm. You might feel your heart skipping beats, fluttering in your chest, or beating irregularly. Some people feel short of breath or experience chest tightness and rush to the emergency room thinking they're having a heart attack. The doctors run tests, and there it is, elevated potassium levels. But nobody asks about the fruit you've been eating every morning. Here's what makes this particularly troubling for seniors. If you're already on medications for high blood pressure, especially ACE inhibitors or certain diuretics, your potassium levels are already being affected by those drugs. Your doctor monitors this carefully. But when you add high potassium pomegranate into your diet, you're essentially creating a perfect storm your kidneys can't handle. Your creatinine levels, the marker doctors use to measure kidney function, might already be borderline. You might be in that early stage of kidney disease that millions of seniors have without even knowing it. And every time you eat pomegranate thinking you're being healthy, you're putting extra strain on kidneys that are already struggling. But here's what confuses most people about this fruit and makes the whole situation even more complicated than it seems. Now, if you're managing diabetes or taking any blood sugar medication, this is where pomegranate creates a contradiction that catches thousands of seniors off guard. On one hand, you've probably heard pomegranate can help with blood sugar control, and technically there's some truth to that. But here's the dangerous part nobody explains: when you're already on diabetes medications like metformin, glipizide, or insulin, pomegranate can make those medications work too effectively, dropping your blood sugar lower than safe levels. Hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, doesn't just make you feel a little tired. You start sweating for no reason, your hands shake, you feel confused or irritable, and in severe cases, you can lose consciousness. Many seniors experience these symptoms and think their medication needs adjusting, so their doctor changes the dose. But the real problem is the fruit interfering with how that medication works. Here's what makes this especially tricky. Pomegranate itself contains natural sugars, so you might think you're being careful by eating fruit instead of candy or processed sweets. You're choosing the healthy option, right? But those natural compounds in pomegranate that affect your liver enzymes, the same ones we talked about earlier, they're also changing how your body processes your diabetes medication. You end up with unpredictable blood sugar swings, high 1 hour, dangerously low the next. Your glucose monitor readings make no sense anymore. You're following your meal plan, taking your medication on schedule, but nothing adds up. And portion control myths make this worse. People think a small handful of pomegranate seeds is fine or a little juice won't matter, but your body doesn't work that way. The interaction happens regardless of the amount because it's about those specific compounds blocking your enzyme systems, not about how much fruit you ate. If you're serious about protecting your health after 60 and want more critical information like this that could save your life, make sure you subscribe to Health After 60 right now. We're cutting through the confusion and giving you straight answers. Now, surgery patients face an entirely different danger with this fruit, and this one has put people in life-threatening situations on the operating table. If you have any surgery scheduled, even something minor like a dental procedure, cataract surgery, or a knee replacement, this information could be the difference between a smooth recovery and serious complications. Pomegranate affects your blood's ability to clot, and when you're going under the knife, that becomes a critical problem. Surgeons need your blood to clot properly during and after procedures to prevent excessive bleeding. But if you've been eating pomegranate regularly, your blood is thinner than your medical team expects. During surgery, bleeding that should stop quickly keeps going. After surgery, incisions that should heal cleanly start oozing or bleeding internally where nobody can see it. The recovery room nurses notice you're bleeding more than normal. Your blood pressure drops, and suddenly what was supposed to be a routine procedure turns into an emergency situation. Here's the rule most seniors never hear about. You should stop eating pomegranate at least 2 weeks before any scheduled surgery. 2 full weeks. Not a few days, not 1 week, but 14 days minimum to clear those compounds from your system. But most people don't know this, and most pre-surgery instructions don't specifically mention pomegranate. They tell you to stop aspirin, stop certain supplements, but pomegranate flies under the radar because it's just fruit. The anesthesiologist asks about your medications and supplements. You list everything carefully, but you don't mention the pomegranate juice you've been drinking every morning. Why would you? It's food. But that oversight can cause your blood pressure to behave unpredictably under anesthesia, making the anesthesiologist's job incredibly difficult. They're trying to keep you stable, but they don't know there's a hidden factor affecting your cardiovascular system. Post-surgery complications from pomegranate aren't always immediate either. You might get home, feel like you're recovering fine, then days later develop unusual bruising, swelling, or internal bleeding that lands you back in the hospital. Even if you avoid all these situations, there's a daily habit that multiplies the risk even further, and millions of seniors are doing this without realizing the danger. Here's where things get even more concerning: pomegranate supplements and extracts. Walk into any pharmacy or health food store, and you'll see bottles of pomegranate extract pills, concentrated pomegranate supplements, and powders promising all the benefits in convenient form. Seniors love these because they seem easier than dealing with the messy fresh fruit. More concentrated benefits, more convenient. But here's the truth that supplement companies don't advertise. These extracts concentrate the exact compounds that cause all the problems we've been talking about. When you take a pomegranate supplement, you're getting 10 times, sometimes 20 times the amount of those enzyme blocking compounds compared to eating the fresh fruit. Every single interaction we discussed, the blood pressure drops, the blood thinner interference, the statin buildup, the potassium overload, all of it gets amplified when you're taking concentrated extracts. Your body gets hit with a massive dose of these compounds all at once, and the effects are stronger and last longer. But there's another layer to this problem. The supplement industry isn't regulated the same way prescription medications are. That bottle might contain more or less pomegranate than the label claims. It might have other ingredients mixed in that create additional interactions. You have no way of knowing exactly what you're getting or how strong it really is. And here's something most people never consider: pomegranate extract hides in other supplements too. That antioxidant blend, that heart health formula, that joint support supplement, check the ingredient list carefully. Pomegranate extract often appears as a secondary ingredient, buried in the middle of a long list, and you're taking it without even realizing it. You might be avoiding fresh pomegranate completely, thinking you're being careful, while unknowingly taking it in 3 different supplement bottles every single day. Those supplements stack up, compounding the effect, and suddenly you're getting more pomegranate than if you just eaten the fruit. So, what should you do if you're already eating this fruit regularly or taking these supplements and you recognize yourself in any of these scenarios we've discussed? First, don't panic, but do take action today. If you're on any of the medications we've discussed, blood pressure pills, blood thinners, statins, diabetes medications, or if you have kidney concerns, the first step is simple: stop consuming pomegranate in all forms immediately until you can talk to your doctor. That means the fresh fruit, the juice, the supplements, everything. Write down every medication you're currently taking, including over the counter pills and supplements. Then schedule an appointment with your doctor specifically for a medication review. When you sit down with your doctor, be direct. Tell them you've been consuming pomegranate regularly and you're concerned about interactions. Ask them to check if any of your medications could be affected. Request blood work to check your liver enzymes, kidney function, potassium levels, and if you're on blood thinners, make sure your clotting times are tested. This isn't about being dramatic, this is about being thorough and protecting yourself. Now, you might be wondering about alternatives. If you were eating pomegranate for the antioxidants, there are safer options. Blueberries offer excellent antioxidants without the dangerous interactions. Apples provide fiber and nutrients without affecting your medications. Oranges give you vitamin C without the enzyme blocking compounds. The key is finding foods that give you nutritional benefits without creating medical risks. Here's the testing that many seniors skip but shouldn't. Ask your doctor about a comprehensive metabolic panel. This blood test shows how your kidneys and liver are functioning, reveals your electrolyte balance, including potassium, and gives a complete picture of how your body is processing everything you're putting into it. If you've been having unexplained symptoms, dizziness, muscle weakness, unusual fatigue, irregular heartbeat, request these tests, even if your doctor thinks they're not necessary. You know your body better than anyone, and at our age, we can't afford to ignore warning signs. If this information is helping you make better health decisions, do me a favor and subscribe to Health After 60 right now. Hit that bell icon so you never miss critical information that could protect you and your loved ones. We're building a community of informed seniors who take control of their health with knowledge. But there's one final truth about this fruit that changes everything you think you know. Now, here's the complete truth that brings everything together. Pomegranate isn't evil, and it's not dangerous for everyone. If you're over 60 and you're not on any medications, if your kidney function is normal, if you don't have any chronic conditions, then moderate pomegranate consumption is probably fine for you. The problem isn't the fruit itself. The problem is how it interacts with the medications and conditions that become more common as we age. This is the real lesson here. What's healthy for a 30-year-old isn't automatically healthy for someone over 60. Our bodies change, our needs change, and the rules change with them. That superfood article you read online wasn't written with your specific medications in mind. That health influencer promoting pomegranate juice doesn't know about your blood pressure pills or your kidney function. You need to create your own personal food safety checklist. Sit down and list every medication you take. Then research or ask your pharmacist about known food interactions. Make this a habit every time a new medication gets added to your routine. Your 60-plus body deserves different rules, more careful attention, and informed choices based on your unique health situation. Taking control of your health decisions means asking questions, doing research, and not assuming that natural always means safe. It means being your own health advocate because nobody else will monitor these details for you. Here's what I want you to do after watching this video. First, share this information with someone you love who's over 60 because chances are they're eating pomegranate and taking medications without knowing the risks. Second, make that doctor's appointment we talked about. And third, if you haven't already, subscribe to Health After 60 right now because we're committed to bringing you honest, potentially life-saving health information that cuts through the marketing and gets to the truth. We're here every week with information that matters, information that protects you, and information that empowers you to live your healthiest life after 60. Your health is your wealth. And at this stage of life, informed choices aren't just smart, they're essential. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.